Okay, so to help you get your creative juices flowing, I figured I'd give you some examples to kind of get you started, to get you going. So as we said before, this is the graphic organizer that we're going to be using. Okay, character ideas. If you notice, the very first line on top, the first row says real people. So as we said, one of the ways to get ideas for characters is to actually use people that we come across every day. So I'm going to try to think of a couple of people that I encounter on a daily basis, people that I see almost every day. One person that comes to mind is one of my neighbors that I see walking past my house every single day, no matter if it's rain or shine, snow or what. This guy will pass my house every single day. And he doesn't even live next door. He lives further down. But no matter what, I see him walking across my house every day. Another person that comes to mind are my students. I see my students on a daily basis, and these are real people in my life, people that I have interactions with on a daily basis. Another person that I can think of is my husband. Okay, again, a real person in my life, and I see him daily, and we speak daily, and he's a big part of my life. Now, if you notice, the second row says totally made up characters. That is completely an option, right? If you already have a set of characters in your head that you want to use, totally made up, that's fine also. So for example, totally made up character might be an elf. Totally made up character can even be an animal. It could be a dragon. We all know dragons never existed. Again, another idea for a totally made up character could be, I don't know, a robot. Okay? Now, again, these are just different ideas. Does it have to be what I'm saying? Absolutely not. You can completely think out of the box and just be so creative with the characters that you come up with. Another idea for coming up with characters is real people, okay, kind of like the first row, but here on the third row here, I have real people with a twist. So what does that mean? For example, I might say, let's say, for example, the neighbor that I have walking across by my house every day, put a twist on him. So I think this neighbor secretly owns all the houses on the street, and he is the manager who just walks up and down the street every single day to make sure that everything is in order. Okay? Another idea for a real person with a twist could be the lady in the coffee shop happens to wear different kinds of feathered earrings every single day at the coffee shop. This lady has different kind of feathered earrings. Perhaps this lady turns into a bird every single night. And that's the twist I would put on this real person. Okay, so you could again go with the idea of a real person, someone that you see as part of your life every single day. It could be a completely made up character, or it could be a real person, kind of with a twist. Okay, so a real person, but not really real. right? Because we know no people are turning into birds at night. If you notice, there is a fourth row, okay? For those of you that want to get really creative and again, really imaginative, there's a row for other ideas. If you have any other ideas for the kind of characters that you would want to include in your story. Now, once you have, again, this is all just brainstorming. Doesn't mean that the characters that you put on this list are the characters that you're going to have to stick with. Maybe you're going to want to choose one or two of them. Or maybe once you start putting ideas down on this piece of paper, you're going to get even more ideas, and then you're going to like the ideas that come after what you wrote here. So again, this is just a way of getting your juices flowing, as I said before. Once you have the characters that you chose, right, your final picks for your story, what you're going to want to do is, again, start developing each character, which kind of means that you want to give each character a little bit of a personality so that when I or whoever else is going to be reading your story kind of feels like they're getting to know this person as you tell your story. So, for example, if I'm going to go with my neighbor, as I said before, I would give him a fake name. Okay, that's what you see. Continuation of this list here. You see a blank. I would say Mr. Mr. Gray. Mr. Gray is the secret owner. Mr. Gray is a neighbor who lives down. Let's try again. Mr. Gray, and you see there is no perfect, nobody's going to get anything right in the perfect try. Not even your teacher, for sure not your teacher. Okay, so don't expect perfection. This is all trial and error. We are going to make mistakes. You might fill out with this whole sheet and then say, what am I thinking? I don't even like any of these characters, and come up with a whole new list of characters, okay? So nobody's going to do this perfectly on the first try, and that is perfectly okay. So again, let's try again. So I would say Mr. Gray is a man who lives on my street, and I believe he is the secret owner of every piece of property on this street. Okay, again, to try to get to know each character, to try to tell us a little bit about each character. Of course, as you write your story, ultimately, you're going to tell us more about them, about the way they look, about their family, perhaps a little bit, about the kind of things that they like, about the kind of things that they do, their hobbies, right? So again, just to kind of get us, the reader, to know more about your character or characters. Okay? There is no limit to how many characters you want to have. But of course, as I said before, you never want to have too many characters, especially when your characters are going to be talking, because that's what's going to make the story a little bit confusing and hard to follow. Okay, so just to recap here quickly, I'm going to be sending both of these in the chat for your parents, your moms to print out. Make sure you have them. Again, this is just going to be a brainstorm of ideas that you're going to have for your story. This is going to be a brainstorm of ideas you have for your characters. And again, on the bottom, there's going to be a couple of spaces here where you're going to talk about each character that you're going to choose, right? That's going to be a part of your story, and you're going to tell us a little bit about each character. Is this all the information that's ultimately going to be in your story? Absolutely not. This is just a quick brainstorm. This is just a graphic organizer to kind of just organize your thoughts a little bit, okay? Of course, once we go into our story, that's where you're going to go into more detail. Okay, boys, more to follow in our next video. Good luck.